Right. Hey dudes, how we doing today? Today I'm gonna be... I just got all my stream work done and I figured I'd relax towards the end of the day and just let you guys in on a bunch of stuff I'm working on. I was in my friend Batir's stream earlier, watching him play Space Marine. We were talking a little bit about kind of our goals on the tabletop and what we're working towards, and I talked a bit about a faction I was working on, several factions actually. And so today I'm going to be talking about all of my fan name... Oof. Good luck, my friend. The VSP Go has always been one of those systems that look super sleek, but I've never been able to justify the purchase. Also, good to see you, TJ. But yeah, I have a bunch of Warhammer fan stuff I'm working on that I'm going to kind of show off today and talk about, including reading you a bunch of lore that I've written. So, if you enjoy listening to me read shit, then, well, that's what today's stream is going to be. And I'll talk a bit about my army and what I have planned for it and what I have done so far. My goals for my army and how it may or may not conflict with what the game currently is in terms of Warhammer. And then when I run out of stuff to do, after that I plan on actually making a few Hero Forge models on stream. Making some Hero Forge minis that match some of the characters in my army. And then after that we'll probably play some Magic the Gathering Arena, and I'll go over some D&D stuff too. Hi there, Mr. Obi, how you doing today? You got a real shitty one for real cheap. Yeah, sounds like it. Cat on the tabletop, let them play. Let me stay on the tabletop, please. Don't push me off. I'd like to just play games with you, friends. I feel if Reddit ran a game shop and they saw me jump on their tabletop, they'd take a sledgehammer to my little furry ass. I've been banned from the Warhammer community, I forgot about that. See what I mean? Yeah, that's the sledgehammer. They would just mash me to little furry bloody chunks on that table. Reddit hates cats. That's that. You know what? Actually, I think I may be wrong. They may not hate streamers. I think they just hate cats. Every time I go to post on Reddit, I always either find out I'm already banned from places I've never been to. Yeah. Anyway, let's just post a bunch of shit. It bums me out every time. Bums me out every time. I shouldn't let it get to me, but boy, does it get to me. Let's go ahead and switch our music over to what's up. Real good one for cheap, but the one that got lost in shipping, so I got my money back for that one. Ah, so you had to settle for something else, it sounds like. Alrighty, guys, I hope you're ready to hear me read. If you have any questions or problems with what I'm writing, let me know. This is a fun part of the phase where I'm literally going through my rough draft of my fanfiction and trying to basically fix it. Trim it down, fix it up, get it to where it's nice and tight and does a really good job of explaining the faction I'm working on. So criticism, constructive criticism is encouraged. Questions even more so. So yeah, let's go ahead and listen to some music and we'll go ahead and yip yap about what we're working on here. Yip yap. That's new. Is this a 40k lore stream? Is it back? I guess so. Trash. Obi. I haven't even started yet. I haven't even started reading. Also, I should probably make sure, since I'm doing a desktop capture, I should make sure nothing sketchy's on screen right now. Yeah, maybe close out the thing that's like my stream key document. Maybe close that and close out my document that has all my passwords in it. Might be a good idea. Other than that, looks like we're good to go. Excellent. Boop. Hello, dudes. My internet is 5 seconds ahead. Damn, you saw it beforehand. Okay, so here's my army so far. This is just going to be... This is what I have planned so far. What I have actually in hand is an apothecary. Currently working on him. I have a Terminator squad, a librarian, and a tactical squad. So this is going to be my 500-point 9th edition army, just to start with, and over time I'm going to add more onto it. Adding onto it, we have the Cadian shock troops, the Chimera, a Commissar Xanthium, a drop pod for my Space Marines, which I need to get. That's going to finish off my 500-point army. A heavy weapons squad, an infantry squad, my Inquisitor, who is going to be custom built. This is going to be a custom made model. The Caterkin, which are going to be Felonid Kazarkin. The Knight Errant, which is going to be their own unique character that I haven't written yet. The Librarium, the Munitorum Servitors, the Ogren Squad, the Regimental Engine Seer, and the Regimental Preacher. Now, the Engine Seer, I'm going to actually make a custom model of the Preacher based off my Darkside character. And the Engine Seer is going to be part of my own custom Mechanicus faction known as High Fleet Golem. Or not High Fleet Golem. I always say High Fleet, sorry. Forge World Golem is what they're going to be a part of. The Bulgrin have their own lore as well as the Rattling Snipers. Any of the mutants you see in my army list are mutants for a reason. I made the Caterkin because the abhuman options for the Imperium are very limited. So I went ahead and just took a normal group of Kazarkin and made them mutants. The Taurox, the Terminator Squad, Valkyrie, and Veteran Guardsmen. The Veteran Guardsmen are also the Death Corps of Krieg. I just relabeled them as Veteran Guardsmen, and I'm going to do custom stuff to those models as well. Alright. So I hope you guys enjoy yourself. This is going to be the lore I've written so far. Observations of a Crusade Fleet by Lady Illyria of House Bivaris, Inquisitor of Ordo Hereticus. The Heron 12th Infantry. The planet of Hera 12 was one of the few planets in the galaxy that was completely self-sustaining. The planet's mantle had been converted into a power source that would power immense thinking machines that would create all the humans on the surface would need to survive. These machines were primitive and simple, unable to think on the level of the heretical men of iron who would ally with the dark gods of chaos and turn on mankind. They would follow their programming and care for the ancestors of the humans that created them. Over time, the humans of Hera would care little for the fall of their great empire and focus their time on cultural pursuits, as well as pursuits of pleasure and play. The Herons were hedonistic, but not to the level of the Eldar or your average imperial nobility. The surface of the planet would grow to a lush jungle filled with animals that would serve as companions or as food for the humans. The thinking machines would tweak the ecosystem to serve its inhabitants. Damn, Obi didn't like that paragraph. He was 5 seconds ahead. Also, the category is set to Magic the Gathering because it's the only game we'll be playing on stream. So, everything else is going to be this kind of thing. Soon the Age of Strife would end, and the humans of Earth would rise again beneath the rule of the Emperor. The AI of old had mostly disappeared from the galaxy, but some remained, and one would engage the Imperial fleets before suffering grievous injury and fleeing into the warp. This great thinking machine would land on Hera 12, destroying one of its great forests. I think I should write crash lands on Hera 12. There we go. And, yep. Many would perish, but the rest would be escorted from the forest by the thinking machines. During this process, the AI would make contact and tell of a great threat approaching. They would tell of the Emperor and his great war machine coming to destroy... So you thought of all of this. Yee. I've been working on this for a while. Took me a minute, but I'll be honest, it's hard to fanfic for 40k because 40k has so many rules and like so much history and lore. You can't just make what because like D&D is the opposite. D&D is the complete opposite, where you can D&D you can make whatever kind of character you want and just kind of shove them into the setting and it'll work. 40K is not like that at all. It's very thoroughly written, and for me personally, it's taken a lot of time to get this to where I want it to be. During this process, the AI would make contact and tell of a great threat approaching. They would tell of the Emperor and his great war machine coming to destroy and exploit their peaceful world, and that the inhabitants would have no choice but to be ready for war. They had little under 1,000 years to do this. The thinking machines would learn of mankind's history of war from the AI while repairing its vessels so that it could depart. Soon the AI would leave and the thinking machines would be left with a major problem. To send their people to war would violate their programming by endangering them. After discussing the matter for a year, they came to one conclusion. They would be willing to endanger one heron in order to save the planet. It was a violation of the programming, but this was their only option. Let me turn this down a bit. A bit of, oh yeah, the music just fucking amps up while we're getting ready for war. I love that. Thank you, Sonic. It was a violation of their programming, but this was their only option. For a year, they would watch the herons, and they would find their champion. There was one human that was different from the rest. He was smarter, stronger, and more violent. Because of this, the kindly denizens of Hera 12 would avoid the man, and he would live a life of loneliness and misery in all likelihood. Instead, he would be collected by the thinking machines, and the situation would be explained to him. The effects of the thinking machines would be noticed by the people of Terra, however, no human knew the whole story until now. The machines would begin to shape this man into the ultimate champion, making him even stronger and smarter via augmetics and teaching him how to influence the herons. Meanwhile, the machines would build cities to house and protect the people of Hera 12 and would use the info given to them by the AI to replicate the powerful efficiency of the Empire, or of the Imperium. They would even name their champions Silas Carathis, which they understood to be a strong imperial name. So, the reason why the machines are able to do all of this is because a lot of AI came from the dark age of technology, which was an era where humanity was at its technological peak. Peak is technological peak. Like, if you think that bolt guns and warp travel are impressive in 40K, like what the Imperium had before the fall, before the dark age of technology, was so much better. So, like, they could, one of the things they could famously do is they had a mastery of time and dimensional manipulation. So they were able to just, like, if there was a threat, they would just teleport it away. They could make matter out of nothing. Like, whenever they find Dark Age technology in 40K, it's a huge deal because of how much better the humans of the past than the humans of the present. No, that's actually one of their, now, there are Space Marines who engage in guerrilla warfare, but similarly to fighting any other faction or any other opponent, you need to actually adapt your strategy. So, like, Space Marines, if they're just charging, doing their thing, just powering through, using guerrilla warfare on them could be very effective. However, if they're wise to that, you'd have a rough time. Because a good thing to think about, a good way to think of the Imperium, or a good way to think about Space Marines is they're just better humans. In terms of when it comes to committing war and committing violence, they are the masters of their craft. So, normal human can beat an Astartes, they just have to be very smart about it. It's very tough. It's like trying to beat Superman or Captain America. You have to really think it through. Would they kill everything if their enemy was hiding? A lot of them would. Some of them wouldn't. Like, if you were fighting... honestly, that'd be a fun video to make. How to beat every Space Marine chapter. If you're fighting the Salamanders, hiding within a civilian center would actually be a really smart idea. Like, attacking from within a city full of people would be very effective against them. And not to mention their weapons of choice are very effective at collateral damage, considering their weapons of choice are flamethrowers. So, when waging war against the Salamanders, the best thing you could do is hide inside of a building, or inside of a civilian center. If you're waging war against the Night Lords, or against the World Eaters, however, that would actually make you less effective, because then they don't care about the civilians, they'll just shoot through them. And most Space Marine chapters They won't go out of their way to kill civilians, and if they can avoid doing it, they'll do it, but like they're not going to let them stop that from doing their mission. Because a lot of Space Marines, as a rule, outside of very specific instances, Space Marines are better humans, and they see themselves as better humans. So a civilian casualty isn't really... Like, would you be upset that you killed a bunch of monkeys while in a firefight in Afghanistan? No. They were just monkeys. Well, you wouldn't be as upset as you would be for killing a human. I would be upset if I killed a bunch of monkeys because I like aminals. But I feel like most people wouldn't. It's like, damn, we took out all those terrorists, but there was a truck full of chimpanzees on their way to work in the mines. You know? That's how the Space Marines would think about it. Yep. But you gotta remember, Space Marines are brainwashed religious zealots. They're insane. They're basically jihadists. Most of them are, at least. There are exceptions, of course. Anyway, during this process, the people of the surface would be encouraged to move into the cities. Not forced, but encouraged. Underground Silas would be cloned thousands of times, creating an army of genetic replicas to serve as the military of Hera. And standing above them all would be Silas. Though he was stronger, smarter, and more violent than your average Heron, he was not as cruel as your average human, and he genuinely believed in saving his people. Now, when I say human, I mean Imperial. I think I'll write Imperial, because there's a level of violence and cruelty that is inherent to Imperium culture. And he genuinely believed in saving his people. While the clone army was trained underground, Silas would head to the surface and would begin using his newfound wisdom and charisma to gather followers and bring them to the walled cities in order to protect themselves from the Imperium of Mand. Not all Herons would follow Silas, so the machines would find areas of the world where no people dwelled and cause great earthquakes to scare the people of Hera 12. Soon 98% of the population had moved into the cities. The remaining 2% were allowed to stay outside the cities, and the first objective of the clone army would be to protect them, silently honing their skills in stealth. The jungles would be genetically altered to be more hostile, and would begin to overgrow everything. The Heron army would defend the people from these jungles as training, and would suggest that people move to the cities to avoid danger, as the force would only grow to become more hostile in order to fend off the upcoming invaders. What if the monkeys fought back? I hope so. God, I gotta watch. I need to watch the new Planet of the Apes movies. I really like the first one. I've only ever seen the first new one. So yeah, basically, with here, I wanted to kind of show that the AI, even when they want something and they have to be manipulative, they would never try to intentionally hurt a human. They have a genuine care for mankind, and they're basically like caring parents to them. The army would grow in power, being fitted with the best weapons that the thinking machines could forge. The walled cities would be protected by void shields and great cannons. Soon, the Imperium's crusade would arrive and ravage the planet. The Imperium would bombard the cities from orbit, as the Imperial Guard was deployed in the vast jungles. In these jungles, the hostile wildlife would shred the invaders before they would be cut down by the clone army. Though Hera 12 would hold out for a while, the thinking machines knew that they could not hold out forever. Luckily for them, some of the ships in orbit possessed AI. In orbit, possessed AI, which the thinking machines assumed were prisoners of war, and would send messages attempting to aid them in their escape from the Imperium. This was the greatest mistake that the thinking machines would ever make. Yay! Good work, TJ. What if the monkeys fought back? Now we got us. How many Space Marine? Now I feel like the thing of like how many humans would it take to fight a gorilla? I feel like a Space Marine is the gorilla. You just think of a Space Marine as a smart silverback. Wait, where's TJ? He's in chat. Make sure your chat's set to live chat and not top chat. I don't even know what the hell the point of top chat is. It kind of sucks. I don't like it. The YouTube chat, dude. So I actually bring up the AI in orbit because this is a personal lore thing that I believe, and it's something that people debate about to this day, is does the machine spirit exist, or is the Mechanicus' entire religion a weird combination of mysticism and a bunch of AI that are playing along to survive? I personally believe it's the latter. I think the Omnissiah is real. It is a real chaos god that has its own powers and miracles and stuff. However, I think there's a lot of AI that the Mechanicus uses, and a lot of Imperial ships still possess AI that's not hostile, but is quietly just biding its time. And so when the thinking machines transmit to orbit and they get a response from what they think to be AI, they're like, yo, dudes, you're prisoners. Hey, listen, you gotta help us, you know, and the AI that they thought they were contacting were in fact the machine spirits of the fleet. And all messages sent by the machines would simply be passed on to the tech priests of the fleet, who would use this as an opportunity to gain information on Hera 12. From these messages, the tech priests would not only learn there was a cursed intelligence on the world, but would learn that the entire mantle of the planet was full of them. A message to the Lord Commander would be intercepted, which stated that the planet would soon undergo exterminatus and that all Imperial forces were to be withdrawn immediately. So yeah, Imperium finds out the planet is fucking filled to bursting with AI. Like, ah shit, that's not a good. We gotta get rid of this. And a cursed intelligence. Silas would be called below by the machines and would be informed of the next step of the plan. First, he would surrender to the Lord Commander, citing the discovery of accursed machines within the planet. Secondly, he would give the... Secondly? This feels like I feel like I'm in high school again. Secondly, he would give the Imperium everything they needed in order to destroy the machines. And finally, he would spread faith in the God Emperor to the cities. The thinking machines of Hera 12 did not care about victory or defeat. They only wished that their children would live. Silas would of course disagree at first, however, like the machines, he had the best interests of his people at heart. As Silas returned to the surface, the machines would self-delete, leaving nothing but their shells behind underground. They do have the equivalent of Death Stars. Like that kind, they have core cracking technology. The reason being is a single planet is still valuable in the grand scheme of things. Space Marines can declare exterminatus, but if they do it too much, one of the other many factions of 40k will stop them. In fact, there are super weapons in 40k that can destroy entire galaxies. The reason being is nobody does that, is nobody in 40k is that evil. And anyone who does that sort of thing will almost immediately get turned on. See, 40k is evil. Like, almost every faction is evil to a certain point. However, nobody's that fucking evil in 40k. Very, very few factions are, and the factions that are looked down upon heavily. The biggest one being the destroyer faction of Necrons, which literally just want to kill all life. Ooh, that'd be great. That'd be really fun, TJ. To a certain point. Yeah. There's a level of evil that's so bad that it's rare. Because, like, okay, a good example of somebody who took it too far would be Inquisitor Cryptman. Inquisitor Cryptman was one of the first Inquisitors to wage war against the Tyranids. Oh yeah, slavery and servitor is really bad. But there is a level of waste. It's also just wasteful. That's another thing. The economy of the Imperium relies on having a lot of worlds. So, if you could think about it from that perspective too, it's just all the different flavors of evil in 40k don't exactly, all of them do not align against the destruction of planets for the most part. Inquisitor Cryptman got tired of fighting the Tyranids, and so instead of waging war against a seemingly unstoppable foe, every time the Tyranids would invade a planet, he would just blow the fucking planet up. Yeah, there's a certain... Because, like, in slavery and servitors, at least you're making something of nothing. Or what people see as nothing. Servitors are evil, no doubt. But a lot of those people are prisoners. A lot of those people can be determined as, quote-unquote, lesser people to the Mechanicum, who are now using their flesh as a resource. To them, they are creating value from nothing. He's so real for that. Hey, Ghost, how's it going? But no, yeah, slavery and servitors are really evil. But there's a certain level where it's just like, it's very wasteful. That's why a situation where it's like, yo, the core is full of AI. Let's get out of that. Let's get rid of that. That's good to hear, man. I've been kind of inspired, so I'm going through all my 40k lore stuff I've written for my army. Let me change songs, because this is really distracting. I think I might switch over to like the Mechanicus soundtrack or something. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop on the Mechanicus soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack, so Works for me. But yeah, you're totally right. 1 in a million. Yeah, they're pretty evil, but there's just because like Obi's question was not why don't they ever destroy planets. It's why don't they just destroy every planet that they don't like, and it's because that's horribly wasteful. Even the planet Ulanor, which is literally the homeworld of the orcs and is just infested with them, the Imperium didn't destroy it. They captured that bitch. Territory. I think that's the biggest thing, is that's them surrendering territory. I guess the good question is, like, would an invading army that's attacking everyone, would they salt the fields so that no crops could grow? Would they completely slaughter the population? No, I don't think they would, no matter how evil they were. I mean, I don't know, do we have any examples of that IRL? Like, did the Nazis do a lot of salting? Because they like, when I think of the most evil, the high watermark for evil on Earth, it's probably the Nazis. So I'm trying to think of, like, yeah, did they... Who knows? Anyway. Oh yeah. Over the next 100 years, Silas would work with the Imperium to quote-unquote civilize Hera 12, while doing his best to preserve the lives of his people. Luckily, he was well liked by the Imperium. The clone army were recruited as Imperial guards, the remnants of the thinking machines were destroyed and salvaged, and finally Silas would personally oversee the indoctrination of the Heran people, pleasing the ecclesiarchy greatly. In time, Silas would be made the planetary governor, and Hera 12 would undergo the natural industrialization and overpopulation that comes with being a part of the Imperium. Silas continued to lead, but now he was seen as a hero by his people, and this would affect all levels of Heran society. There might be something there. So yeah, they liked him, and to be honest, they kind of made him into the model Imperial citizen before they arrived. And of course the AI are all dead now, but they died happy in the knowledge that their people would live on. The clones were exceptional fighters, and when they returned home, they would be hailed as heroes. The people of Hera would almost come to worship them as they did Silas, and many families would be started with retired clones at the head. Within the next 300 years, 75% of the population had come to be a part of Silas's bloodline, and any people who did not possess the genetic traits of Silas would have trouble finding mates or starting families. Basically, this dude was so popular that his genetic features became like the way this guy looks defined what was attractive. Kind of like the Habsburgs, or I think that's what they were called. Basically, that one super inbred family in Spain. The sector of space was somewhat peaceful, so the population grew wildly, leading to the destruction of Hera's great forests in favor of great hive cities. Silas at this point had little power or control over his planet, and would spend most of his remaining days wandering the catacombs where the great thinking machines once ruled. While battling off-world, a team of Heran combat veterans would discover an ancient biological weapon from the Dark Age of technology. This weapon was a virus that would target a specific genome and would spread only to those who shared the same genes. The veterans had fought the Imperium before the fall of Hera, and no longer wished to be the slaves of this evil empire. So instead of giving the weapon to the Mechanicus, they would hide it and carry it back to Hera 12. So, yep, this one team of veterans would be so fucking sick of fighting, because they remember what it was like before the Imperium took over. And they've lived this whole time fighting for the Imperium and fighting alongside everybody, and they're just like, man, fuck this shit. These veterans would continue to serve and survive long enough to reach retirement. They would return home and personally be awarded medals by Governor Silas. At the ceremony, the weapon was activated, and the virus would instantly begin to spread to all those who carry the blood of Silas. The veterans would die in agony, however, in Silas's final moments, he would comfort and forgive his murderers before passing away. A new governor was quickly instated. Lindy Shambal was an old aristocrat that arrived from off-world, but had fallen in love with Hera in her years living there. She was also well-liked by the people, as she served as Silas's right-hand man and would be there to support anything he proposed as leader. Lindy, however, was of the Imperium and did not have the moral limitations that her predecessor possessed. Over the next year, the planet would undergo a disaster that it has still not recovered from. So yeah, now, Silas is fucking dead. The veterans who killed him are dead. And now a bunch of people are dying because everyone carries this dude's genetics. Over the next year, the planet would undergo a disaster that it is still not recovered from. The first step was quarantining the cities. Second was to identify the virus, and while she could just slaughter parts of the population that possessed the blood of Silas, she believed that this would be a step too far and would trigger a civil war, something that may lead to the planet's destruction. So after she had the virus identified, she would then move the infected underground, where the people would be told that they are being cared for until they died, as there was no cure. In actuality, the people were subjected to years of agonizing tests in order to engineer a vaccine. Thirdly, the vaccine was administered to the people of Hera. So, I'm actually really proud of this part. I actually really like I'm not going to toot my own flute for too long here, but I really like the tonal shift when Lindy takes over after Silas, and how we go from genuinely a person who's genuinely has their people's best interest in mind, and when it switches over to Imperium control, it's somebody who still has their people's best interests in mind, but they go about it in a completely evil, fucked up way because they're from the Imperium and they're used to human life being somewhat disposable. Nah, dude, you'll be fine. Does the most evil thing ever. Yeah. So yeah, all these people, she's like, no, I'm taking them. They're gonna go sit in the clinic. They're gonna go die peacefully, and she's just dissecting the fuck out of them. And then finally, the vaccine would be made. In the end, 50% of the population had been killed either by the virus or by Governor Shambhala herself. Since the genes were the strongest in the men of Hera, only 25% of the remaining population was male, and almost none possessed the blood of Silas. It was clear to Shambhala at this point that while the blood of Silas was highly prized, it was in fact a weakness to the Herons and would lead to their destruction. And so Shambhala made it a requirement for all serving women and men, very few in number, to possess the blood of Silas. In fact, they were required to serve. Why did I write that twice? Made it a requirement for all. Made it a requirable for all. Let's just write all women and men, very few in number, who possessed the blood of Silas. Let's do possess. No, it's past tense, right? Who possessed the blood of Silas to in the Imperial Guard. There we go. Do you think the Black Plague would do something against them? Bro needs Grammarly. What's Grammarly? Most likely, yeah. But I actually don't really know. I'll be honest with you, Ghost. My knowledge of the Black Plague is lacking. I would not be prepared if it suddenly returned. I'd be screwed. To the governor... Okay, so let's read this. Shambhala made it a requirement for all women and men, very few in number, who possessed the blood of Silas to serve in the Imperial Guard. To the governor, this was a necessary evil, but to the Herons, this was a great honor. The Heron 12th Imperial Guard would soon be deployed throughout the system and would even link up with the Blood Raven's vessel, Seeker of Redemption, led by librarian Arturo Casas, so that the Heron 12th would be guaranteed battlefields that would lead to many casualties. So yeah, she's basically going, this bloodline sucks. We gotta fucking get this out of here and thin the ranks. Alex is seeing chat. Just be a lot more extreme. I am. I see the chat. Alex is seeing things. Wrong chat. No. But a lot more extreme. Okay, I got you. The Heron 12th Guardsmen would be known for their great zeal, self-sacrifice, and sisterhood, caring for each other as a family. Their commissars would take advantage of this by punishing one for the failure of others and others for the failure of one. The commissar feared most by the women and men of the Heron 12th was Tula Xanthium, a nearly silent commander who wielded dread like a weapon. She always wore a gas mask and would lead from the front, bludgeoning the enemies of the Imperium with her twin power fists. Yeah, you just become like a waxy plague doctor. If any soldier thought to step out of line, they would receive no warning, only a stare, and if the soldier didn't straighten up immediately, one of their comrades would be slaughtered in front of them. So you get fucking Darth Vader, but punchy. Also like a 4-foot tall woman. Let me get you a picture. Let me get you the mini I'm actually going to be using for this. This is from a... you know what, actually, I should probably make sure there's no titties on this page, because they have NSFW. They have... yeah, leave. Thank you. Oh, did I forget to post? No, I didn't. I did not forget to post. But yeah. Make sure there ain't no titties on this page. I don't see no titties. But yeah, here's the commissar I have picked out. Boop. So yeah, this is the commissar I got picked out. She's a custom built from a website called Wargame Exclusive. Did they? All right. No, because I don't think they'd understand what it is. But they could also just look at it and go, that's a little gun. They'd probably have the same basic reaction we would if someone came after us with a really tiny gun. Like, remember the little bitty laser gun from Men in Black? And how, like, even though it was a future weapon, Jay didn't take it seriously? There you go. But yeah, gas mask, twin, gauntlets. I'm probably going to paint this to look like her clothing, because I think her having any exposed skin at all is fucking stupid. Especially if she's wearing the gas mask. But yeah, little 5-foot-tall lady will just punch a hole in you if you disobey orders. But yeah, it'd be the same rule as in Men in Black. But also they have Glock equivalents. They're called stubbers. Basically just normal guns. A Space Marine would not be scared of a stubber. It's funny to think about, but I don't know, man. Right. Apparently, Commissar Xanthium was a normal noblewoman until her planet was... I'm gonna write child of the nobility. Of the nobility until her planet was invaded by Tyranids. After the planet was nearly destroyed via an exterminatus, the child was found alone in an underground bunker by an Inquisitor with the half-eaten bodies of her parents. The little girl had survived for weeks in extremely hostile environments. Her lungs were nearly destroyed from smoke inhalation. However, the Inquisitor took a liking to this girl and would rescue her, restore her lungs with augmetics, and send her to the Schola Progenium, where she would graduate as a Commissar of the Astra Militarum. In the beginning, she used standard methods of command, but would soon favor silence, intimidation, and ripping apart her enemies with her power fists. Now, the Heron 12th Imperial Guard makes their way to the Galactic Rim, where they conquer planets for the Emperor and for Saint Silas. Often they will fight alongside Arturo's Blood Ravens, who have quickly become their closest allies. The issue's back. No, it would. Exactly, all the gas would get into her pores. Alright. Oh yeah, Dawn of War spoilers, by the way. Arturo's Ravens would be formed after the defeat of Captain Boreal on Korova. The Korova campaign had brought the Blood Ravens closer to Codex compliance, as many of their forces were lost in the doomed campaign. The Blood Ravens would deploy in smaller numbers. Arturo's force specialized in equipping these smaller, more elite forces by acquiring artifacts by any means necessary. Often they would trade with the Imperium's rogue traders. However, sometimes they would attack civilians or even military vessels and outposts. So yeah, these guys are functionally Space Marine privateers. They're all about finding technology that can assist them in battle and stealing it for the Blood Ravens. Within the Seeker... Did I call it the Seeker of Revelation or the Seeker of Redemption? Space Marine ship names, man. Let me just type in Control F, Seeker. And then up. Seeker of Revelation, yeah. Within the Seeker of Revelation, there are a few Space Marines present. One, of course, is Arturo Cassis, a librarian of the Blood Ravens Ordo Psychana. The Ordo Psychana is a secret order of Psychers within the Blood Ravens, who acts as the Force Commander of the Requisition Force. He is known for his pragmatism and cool-headed nature. However, many rumors of heresy surround the librarian due to a failed campaign against Eldar on one of Aurelia's moons. The Requisition Force set down on the moon shortly before the Tyranid invasion of Subsector Aurelia to investigate recently uncovered ruins in order to claim any and all found tech for the Blood Ravens. The Seeker of Revelation attempted to land at the dig site, however they lost contact halfway down. Arturo could not detect any living human minds at the site, so instead the Seeker deployed the Librarian, the ship's tactical squad, and the Seeker's apothecary Cadus in a high-altitude, low-orbit drop pod deployment. Welcome to Space Marine lore, where there's a lot of big words and a lot of... And I tried to match the tone of, like, Space Marine stories with this, of just very punchy, blunt, deliberate, not as... Yeah. Upon landing, the Astartes would discover that not only were the diggers dead, but their bodies were littered with fetishes and markings of Tzeentch. Arturo would retrieve a map of the nearby ruins, and he would set to planning out their infiltration. This planning session, however, would be interrupted by an attack by Eldar Rangers, who managed to kill several Astartes before they could even return fire. By the time the tactical squad retaliated, the Rangers had retreated into the ruins. Sergeant Garrulus ordered his Marines to pursue the Elves. However, Arturo would contradict his old friend and advise caution when dealing with the Eldar. Instead, the Marines would carefully observe the ruins from cover, and Librarian Arturo would continue to plan, now accounting for the Eldar. Very nice, Yoink. What? Wait, very nice. What? Oh, wait, oh no! Garrulus and Arturo had known each other for a very long time, growing up together on Cyrene in a hive gang. From what I have learned about them in 100 years of service, neither had changed very much. Arturo was always pragmatic to a fault, and Garrulus was a ruthless killer who pursued his prey until he had destroyed them utterly. So when Arturo advised caution here, I believe this was the beginning of a future conflict that would lead this mission to failure. Though Garrulus followed orders, I believe his bitterness towards Arturo had grown with the death of his men, and I believe that his feelings and thoughts were manipulated by an unseen threat. Surviving Astartes from this tactical squad report seeing him muttering to himself as if he was arguing with an invisible man. Apparently these arguments were eventually cut short when Arturo gave the order to enter the ruins. Arming themselves with shotguns and flamers, the Librarian, Apothecary, and 5 of the tactical Marines, including Garrulus, entered, leaving 2 Astartes to defend the entrance. The ruins looked small from the outside, however most of it was underground, with winding tunnels snaking through the planet's crust for miles. Inside, the Marines did not find the Eldar, but instead found surviving humans who attacked the Marines on sight for some unknown reason. Arturo requested that they capture one of the humans to interrogate them. However, Garrulus would always accidentally kill the humans before capture. I have no doubts this is the further sign of the sergeant's compromised psyche. Eventually, the Blood Ravens would arrive in an atrium where they would be fired upon by the Eldar once again. This time, however, they were ready. They closed the distance and shredded the opposition with shotguns and flamer fire. While his Marines shredded the Eldar, Arturo would quietly cripple a fleeing Eldar with a psychic attack, before cleaving the elf's limbs from her body with his force sword. The elf would be taken as prisoner, as the other Marines killed her Rangers. The Apothecary would see to her wounds and wake her up. The elf expected torture, however Arturo handled the alien with tact, asking her thousands of questions as they explored the rest of the ruins, prodding her mind gently with each one. Some were simple to the point of being inane. Others were bordering on heretical, carrying an air of sympathy for the Eldar, and a disdain for mankind. And of course, slipped between these were interrogation of the elf's mission. She eventually gave Arturo enough info for him to learn that the temple was a chapel dedicated to Tzeentch, and that inside was a chaos sorcerer, and the Eldar were here to stop the Librarian from contacting him, as they believed the Librarian would fall and become a powerful ally of the ruinous powers as many had before him. Now, the turning point of the mission seems strange to many Astartes in the Requisition Company, but I believe that I don't think company is the right word for that. Let's go force. Because Requisition Force, because like a company has a very specific military definition behind it. I'm going to go with force instead, because force sounds more all-encompassing and kind of generic, you know? Now, the turning point of the mission seems strange to many Astartes in the Requisition Force, but I believe that Garrulus had suspicions that Arturo was falling into heresy. These doubts were of course fueled by the influence of the sorcerer. After the existence of the sorcerer was revealed to Arturo, he fell silent, pondering the implications of such a discovery. As he made his way into a profane cathedral within the ruins, the kill team was attacked by traitor Astartes of Tzeentch. Their foul sorceries would Ghost, go in top chat. Wait, is there messages in both chat? No, they're basically the same, but top chat just has less messages. Great. Why is an episode of the Adeptus Ridiculous playing? Whoopsie. That's funny. Top chat is bad. Top chat's evil. Alright. As he made his way into a profane cathedral within the ruins, the kill team was attacked by traitor Astartes of Tzeentch. Their foul sorceries would bombard the Marines, killing all but the Librarian, the Apothecary, the Elf, and Garrulus. The Astartes would be forced into a retreat. However, as they fell back out of the cathedral, they realized that the map no longer represented the layout of the ruins, and they were horribly... I'm going to say their map no longer represented the layout of the ruins, and they were horribly lost. The Marines instead felled several statues to use as cover and fortified a room where they could cover all entrances. The traitors never came, and instead the battered Space Marines and their elf prisoner were given silence. In this silence, I believe that the Garrulus formed a theory that they were being manipulated and dragged into a trap by the alien. Garrulus would grab the elf and attempt to execute her, but the apothecary would stop him, getting between him and the Xenos. The sergeant was enraged at the apothecary, and at this moment I believe the sorcerer pushed Garrulus to attack his comrade. The apothecary fell to the stone, his helmet dented inward by the fist of Sergeant Garrulus. He would then crush the Eldar Ranger beneath his massive boot. At this moment, the horror of what he had done filled his mind before he was flung through the air by a psychic blast. Quite a few, actually, but I'm just kind of correcting them as they go. Standing over the sergeant was a powerful battle psyker in the form of Arturo, and he was afraid. So afraid that he armed himself with his flamer and aimed it at his own commander. The apothecary was not dead or even unconscious. He sat upright, firing a single bolt shell at his comrade, hoping to disarm him, but instead the shell embedded in the tank of the flamer and exploded, bathing the tactical sergeant in promethium and throwing shrapnel through his ceramite armor. Arturo threw up a psychic shield at the last second, protecting the apothecary and himself. He watched in horror as his dearest friend was reduced a little more than a torso with a mangled eyeless head. The librarian would do all that he could to extinguish the flames, and acting fast, he demanded that the apothecary save the tactical sergeant. The apothecary desperately explained to his commander that the sergeant's wounds are severe and that would require the Seeker's medbay in order to save him. Arturo nodded and demanded the apothecary retreat with the sergeant, find their way out of the labyrinth, and return to the Seeker of Redemption. I have Seeker of Redemption here as well. Yeah. I think Seeker of Redemption's a better name. Like, it sounds better, but Revelation fits more into what the ship is actually used for. Revelation. There we are. The apothecary followed orders, although he knew that he may not be able to escape the ruins. But he also knew that Arturo knew this, so it's likely that both of them dying was something that the Psyker was willing to accept. So, hey Fox, I'm going over some fanfic I wrote. It's all the lore I've written for my little plastic dudes. At this point, I am unsure of what happened next. The librarian is highly secretive, however, he left the ruins with no injuries, and the ruins would soon crumble naturally after he left. I have read the surface thoughts of the Astartes who survived the missions when I've interviewed them, and they all believe their commander to be loyal to the Emperor. In serving alongside the librarian, I have been given no reason to doubt this. However, I am very curious as to what happened within the ruins. Why is your Google avatar in the negative? Oh, that's because I use a thing called Dark Reader, and it's buggy. Basically, it lets me force dark mode on a bunch of websites that don't have it. When Arturo returned to the Seeker of Revelation, he would see that Garrulus was alive, but barely. He was reduced to a vegetative state and unable to speak, move, see, or hear. The Seeker of Revelation would assist Gabriel Angelos and his Blood Ravens in holding off the Tyranid invasions of Aurelia, and in doing so would recover Terminator armor, a Dreadnought, and a Rhino. The Terminator armor would be given to the remaining tactical Marines, and they would serve as bodyguards for the Librarian. Wherever he went, the Terminators were sure to follow. The Rhino would be painted black and be used for deploying the newly promoted tactical Marines. They would travel with the Seeker from now on. Finally, the Dreadnought would be used to house the form of Sergeant Garrulus. However, they were not able to deploy him. Upon activation of the sarcophagus's Vox, the Sergeant began to scream threats of violence and bloodshed aimed at Arturo and his apothecary. So the Vox was deactivated, and Garrulus was never deployed. However, the option is still open for the future, and the Dreadnought slumbers aboard the Seeker of Revelation. Now the Blood Ravens travel with the Heron 12th and their allies, assisting them in their toughest battles and influencing their battle plans in order to acquire more artifacts for the Blood Ravens in their eternal crusade against the Imperium's foes. So yeah, just a bit of history about them, about the distrust that exists within their little group. But overall, they're a very small, elite Space Marine force. They're not like a huge army, they're merely part of a larger army. Excuse me. And that's how I'm going to use them on the tabletop. Their paint schemes are, I mean, they're the guys I showed off before. In my little guys video where I showed off all the Space Marines I had painted. Yeah, basically they're a small elite force that's there to acquire artifacts for the other Blood Ravens. One of the big mysteries of... I mean, Blood Raven's lore is full of mysteries because they can't over-explain it because it's kind of like a fan-made thing, but one of the weird things about the Blood Ravens is they have way too many artifacts for what they have. Most Space Marine forces don't have the level of artifacts that they have, and the fan theory goes is they just fucking steal them from other Space Marine chapters. And then that became a lore. They apparently are... One of the theories about the Blood Ravens is they just steal from other Space Marine chapters. And so I'm making my chapters about that. My chapter's all about theft. They're all about taking things. Want to review my screenshot? Check the arena. Okay. Will do. I dig it. I'm glad you're enjoying Saints Row. I'm glad other people are enjoying it too. It's good they fixed it. Looks good. You should try applying some filters though and find one that you like. Hold on, Dark Tide OST. I'm trying to find a single video that has the entire playlist. Here we go. Woo, theft! Yep, that's what they're all about. Inquisitor Miku. You're welcome. Oh, she'd be an Eldar. Miku would be an Eldar. Here we are. Serving alongside the Heron 12th for this crusade is a group of mercenary veterans of an abnormal nature. Now, this one I have actually... This is my rough draft of the abnormals. I've never gone over it a single time, so if there's shit in here that's stupid or dumb, that's why. I can't play... So Minecraft I have to launch from there, and FF14 I also have to launch from there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to play it. Yeah, absolutely. No, for real, for real. It seems like those games feel like sequels to San Andreas in a lot of ways. I remember hearing people talk about that. Serving alongside the Heron 12th for this crusade is a group of mercenary veterans of an abnormal nature. Some of my peers harbor misunderstandings of the mutants living among us. I understand that humanity has undergone immense change since we have reached out among the stars, and that such change has let us reach ever further into the void of space. However, as you know, prejudice is the way of mankind, and so it is natural for those cast out to seek the company of other outcasts. There are many such bands of abhumans throughout the galaxy, and the abnormals were one of them. Now, I would like you guys to think of a team. This is where I'm going to start calling upon you guys. I call upon you, my friends, to think of a name for an elite squad of mutants. Not like super mutants, but like of dwarves, elves, of dwarves, gnomes, and big ugly ogre guys and cat boys, of just mutations in the 40k universe. Think of a cool name for them. Because all I could come up with is the abnormals. I couldn't think of anything better. Something in the era of the Bad Batch or the A-Team. That's kind of what they are. Team Cat, Special Air Service, Juan, 3rd Street Saints. I'm going to need you guys to try a bit harder. The Green Beans. Alrighty. Alright. We're just going to put a pin in that, and I'm going to keep reading. You guys keep coming up with names. The Abnormals were a group of veteran abhumans who had fought for the Imperium for many years. They would reach the end of their military service one way or another and came together once again to fight for the Imperium after the fall of Cadia. Heading the group once again to fight for the Imperium. Not again, that's redundant. After the fall of Cadia. Heading the group is Gugni Warsworn, an old squat mechanic and master technician who drives the Taroks used to transport the group's infantry. Gugni is known for his excitable nature and love of complex puzzles. To Gugni Warsworn, every battle is a puzzle to be solved, and so he pushes his soldiers into strange situations to yield unexpected results. So yeah, Gugni is a squat. That is the 40k equivalent to dwarfs. He's an old dwarf mechanic who drives a big-ass armored vehicle. Let me get you guys a picture of what a Tarox looks like. One sec. I'll pull it up on the Games Workshop website. It's a troop transport vehicle. English, thank you. Yeah, there's the Taurox. It's like a big old truck with treads. It's a big old APC, or Armored Personnel Carrier. Not quite an APC. The Mal Munitions, I like that. A half-track, yeah. But yeah, we won't ever see him on the tabletop because there's no model for him. He'll be in the truck. Yeah, there is a similar one on Fallout Tactics, the Muties, I like that. But what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Give me time to think. Yeah, so this is what he'll be driving. He'll be driving this. He also works on everybody's guns and stuff. Truck Cragfist would lead his fellow squad of Ogryn. Would lead his squad of fellow Ogryn. Truck is smart for an Ogryn and is able to nearly form full sentences. Wow. This would endear him greatly to those that serve under him, and he would spend most of his time teaching the Ogryn all he knows about the world. So one of the cool things about Truck is his excitability. He's excited to see the world. For him, war is just one big adventure, because he's not smart. He's a big dumb boy. Let me get you a picture at what an Ogryn looks like. Some of you might know they're in Darktide, but I'm going to grab one of the minis because I like it. So this is what Ogryn look like. They're basically Sloth from the Goonies. I think I'd have... Which one would I have be Truck? Let's see. But yeah, Truck, Crag... Probably have this be Truck. I like this one. Maybe give him a hat. They're, yeah, they're very tough. They're very effective at what they do. But what they do isn't... Like, they're good for manual labor and war, and that's pretty much it. The Malmunitions, I like that. I might use that one. They do look inbred, don't they? And so, yeah, those are the Cragfish. Beltram Fast Moon was the leader of the Abnormal's Ratling Snipers. Now, Ratlings are basically 40k hobbits, and they're chef. He specialized in making meals that would delight the unique palates of his fellow mutants. His Ratlings would work underside him in both the kitchen and on the battlefield. The Ratlings would spend a lot of time partying with the women of the Hera 12, who shared their love of drink and song. Unlike the rest of the Abnormals, the Ratlings did not have a strong love of war, but they understood after years of service they were good at it, and allowed them to pursue their love of cuisine as long as they were able to crack heretic heads. Looks like Fox. Let me show you guys what Ratlings... See, this is the part I'm most excited for, is all the unique characters. So here's what Ratlings look like, and here's what these guys are going to look like. Don't tell me they don't have snipers, Ratling snipers anymore. I'm gonna be mad. Oh no, where's the Ratling snipers, you motherfuckers? Alright, one sec. So here's what these guys are going to look like. Little dudes, little sniper dudes. I'm definitely not going to go with the Arctic camo on their rifles. But yeah, they're a bunch of little bitty snipers. They're good at climbing and hiding. They're little small bastards. The newest and strangest addition to the Abnormals were the assorted veteran Kasserkin, or as the Herons called them, the Catterkin. These were soldiers from different regiments who all shared two things in common. They were the only survivors in the original units, and they were all Felonid. Felonid are mysterious abhumans that have taken on the fur, ears, and muscle structure of the wild felines, and are known for being naturally talented soldiers due to their immense strength, speed, and dexterity. The Catterkin would outlive every deployment, often being the sole survivors of their armies, and upon retiring, they would almost immediately take up the mercenary life, seeking out the most lethal battlefields of the Imperium. After meeting each other on several deployments, the Catterkin and the Abnormals would join together into a mercenary band. The Catterkin, despite being part of the Abnormals, mostly keep to themselves, but when not deployed, the Felonids would play. This play looks like brutal no-holds-barred sparring, but since the Felonids heal faster than humans and become very restless between battles, this style of play is expected and encouraged. They would sometimes drink and party with the other abhumans, however their diets were very different, largely consisting of raw meat. So, I'm gonna chow. Later, Fox. One of the ideas, so Felonids are very mysterious. Let me actually get you some pictures of Felonids. Let's actually, again, hide that. You guys don't need to see that. 40k Felonids. Okay, so Make sure there's nothing lewd that comes up. Alright, we're good. Trying to protect you guys. Don't you understand? What are those shortcuts? Don't worry about it. So, felinids. What are felinids? Felinids are the cat people of 40k, and we don't know much about them at all. However, every time they're brought up, they lead away from here and move more in this direction. So they're closer... Like, they're becoming edgier and more bestial every time we learn more about them. So they're not quite Nekos or even Anthros. They're closer to wild cheetah men and women. This was another idea that was had. Yeah, they're like the most bestial side of the Khajiit. So all the new lore I introduced led more in that direction. Why the cat got the Gen Z cut? Oh no. But yeah, the idea of them sparring, looking fucked up to us is how cats play. When cats play, they're practicing for trying to kill each other. And so, taking that idea and applying it to these soldiers would lead to that. They mostly eat raw meat because they're carnivorous. You may even get the impression that they don't like their abhuman or guardsman allies, however they are simply aloof and will express their appreciation for their companions suddenly and sporadically. Hera 12 guardsmen would report members of the Caterkin, visiting them late at night with extra rations, ammo, and would sometimes even keep them company in their tents. Similar to their place in the Imperium, the Felinids of the Crusade fleet are highly elusive and greatly appreciated by their military allies. So yeah, basically Felinids, that's another thing, is the Imperium loves them. It's not even like a horny thing, it's more just whenever a Felonid guardsman is deployed, it's considered, or a Felonid mercenary or guardsman or just warrior is in any sort of faction, they're highly appreciated because they are goddamn effective at killing stuff. I also added in this little bit at the end, the idea of like they're aloof and mysterious with their love, kind of like kitties. So the idea of just tired ass Hera 12 guardsman, she gets up in the middle of the night, goes out to take a piss, and there's just like a 9-foot tall cat man standing at her door with like an ammo crate going, "Here, take it." You know? I like that imagery a lot. Because, like, again, they wouldn't like bringing dead mice, they wouldn't be carrying it with their mouth, they would, you know, take on the behaviorals of humans, and they would instead be like, "Here, rations. I made them myself." Just a bunch of, like, meat stuffed into an ammo container. I don't know, I had fun making up stuff for them. Because that's kind of my idea, is I'm taking what I know about these factions and using the blanks to, like, take them in interesting creative directions. Welcome back, Obi. Now let's talk about my newest edition, Forge World Golem. This is my personal Forge World. For those who don't know, the Mechanicus has different planets known as Forge Worlds where they make all their shit. The Mechanicus are the guys who make all the stuff. They make all the weapons, everything, really, for the Imperium. Okay. I have previously expressed admiration for the soldiers of the Lucky Crusade Fleet, which is where they are, because they are... That's what the Crusade Fleet's called, I guess. They're making their way into Lucky Space. Just a Space Marine that has a cat head. Not quite. Not quite. Here, actually, the picture I really liked... Hold on. Felinid... There we go. The picture I think I like the best is this one. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the models. Oh damn, did I not save it? That sucks. I'll have to find it again. Caterkin minis. I don't want the Kazerkin, I want the Caterkin. Kazerkin Felinid minis. Trying to find the fucking things. I might have already saved it. Hold on. Shopping, Victorian minis. No, because that's not it. Those are the heads I want to use. Shit. I don't need that no more. Yeah, looks like I lost it, whatever it is. Yup. 40k Felonid heads. Yeah, there's a specific style I had saved and I had looking for, but I'm sad to say I think I might have lost it. That's a real shame. I am really quite bummed out about that. I might have to actually custom build these myself. Alright, add that to the Hero Forge list. Gotta make cool catmen. Eh, fuck it. Yeah, I'm checking out Google Shopping right now and I'm trying to find it. What is this Gen Z cut? What's the Gen Z cut? Is it just like the... So I remember we used to just... Like, if it's the one with the hair cut on the side and then you have the hair... Like, not quite the high top, but just like the floofy hair on the middle. Because we used to call that the gay cut. Because we see a lot of gay people with that cut. But... Sorry. This is what popped into my head. As one of them gays, I feel like I reserve the right to point out when things are fucking gay. Just saying. Anyway, I guess I'll custom make them myself. Not a big deal. I'll just let myself in then. Alright. I hate how he looks. What's the Gen Z cut? But yeah, I couldn't find a picture. Just imagine muscly Khajiit men covered in scars and bruises and like part of them are mechanized or missing. Like they look beat up. Just imagine a veteran World War II soldier Khajiit and you'll kind of have an idea of what they're going to look like. All right. I have previously expressed admiration for the soldiers of the Lucky Crusade fleet. Be it the humble herons or the elite blood ravens, they have contributed immensely to the Emperor's great work. Contributing more than anyone else would be the tech priests of the Forge World Golem, as they are responsible for the acquisition and upkeep of the fleet's artillery and vehicles. You would think that I admire them as I do anyone else in the Crusade fleet. You would be wrong, as the tech priests are some of the most twisted, grotesque examples of mankind I have met in my century of serving this Imperium. I suppose it is best to begin with their origins. A few thousand years ago, a group of tech priests discovered a planet rich with mineral resources and ancient technology. Do they know about the cats on Earth? Probably. I'm sure, like, I actually don't know if cats are still around in 40k, to be honest with you. Immediately, they set to mining and refining this mineral wealth into the arms of the Imperium. However, priests on the world were highly competitive and would attack the developing Imperium worlds to steal their population to act as slave labor, allegedly. On the Forge world, the priests completed ruthlessly digging deeper into the world and killing more and more of their labor force. At some point, a hierarchy would begin to form. However, this did not happen, and instead the priests would carve out their own territories, digging ever deeper into the planet and building higher into space. The slaves were forced to reproduce rapidly and were given extensive augmentations to rapidly age them to working age. Eventually, the population boomed. Population boomed, and they... The curly hair. Oh, yeah. Oh, is it the shit on my... Is it the shit on top of my head, look? Oh, God, yeah. Furry Vault 13 over... Oh, my God, you're so right, Fox. You nailed it. That's exactly what I think... Yeah, it's the shit on my head, look. It's the Mozambique. On the Forge world, okay, yeah. Eventually... Oh, as the population boomed, they would rebel against their enslavers. Okay. Ian, their enslavers. These rebellions would have been short-lived, of course. However, this gave the priests a new way to wage war. A new way to war with one another. Equipping their rival foundries rebels with the most powerful weapons of war. Now the planet is in a never-ending civil war, all according to the plan, as the spires of the Mechanicus reach ever skyward and the great mines bore all the way down to the planet's core. So yeah, if you were to see this planet from orbit, it looks like it is dying. Parts of it you can see clear through, and the structures jut so high that it looks like a fucked up sea urchin made of iron floating in space. The High Priests of Golem are ancient and terrifying creatures that are so comfortable with their place in Golem society that they set out to other worlds in search of STCs and unknown Imperial technology. One of these priests travel with the fleet. I do not know their name, however I know how monstrous they are. One of the earlier engagements in the Crusade was set against an Orc Wog that had taken the outer worlds of Lucky Space. The Broccoli Cup. Yeah, for real. Yeah, totally. That's good. Yeah. Perfect. The fucking Black Ops 2 Zombies Earth. 100%. I was in disguise at the time as the rogue trader Victoria Vibaris. Did I write that seriously? Vibares. There we go. Victoria Vibares, and expressed a great passion in seeing the aftermath of the Imperium's battles and writing about them. In truth, I was making sure that any heretical artifacts remaining on the world would be confiscated before the Blood Ravens or the Mechanicus could acquire them. I followed in the tracks of Arturo and the tech priest with a group of herons guarding me. I made pleasant conversation as we made our way into a civilian center. In an outer refugee camp, I saw a young girl. She possessed a pair of mechanical eyes that I had never seen before. Apparently, her father was an archaeologist and had collected many strange things over the years, including a pair of mechanical eyes that dated to before the Dark Age of technology. His youngest daughter would suffer a cancer of the eyes at a young age that would blind her. Her father, with the help of a local doctor, would implant the eyes in his daughter's skull. In that moment, I saw she was happily playing despite her circumstances. I also saw the tech priest staring at her. I wish I knew what would happen next. We spent the night in this settlement interviewing locals and securing the outer defenses to hold against further orc attacks. I did not see the tech priest until the next morning, when we once again marched past the camp. The father ran up to Arturo wailing in pain, holding the body of his daughter, now with 2 gaping holes where her eyes used to be. I was shocked and horrified at this revelation, and immediately began searching the minds of my entourage. The horror filled us all except for the priest, who kept walking with his eyes forward. I suppose the librarian noticed this at the same time I did, because his force staff struck the back of the priest with great enough force to cause him to stumble. Arming himself with an axe, the priest would retaliate. In this moment, the herons would either train their las guns on the librarian or the priest, and I would pull my bolt pistol from my handbag. Before the axe could collide with the librarian, the priest would be engulfed in a flash of light, and surrounding him would be the scribe guard. I actually really like this part. The elite Terminator bodyguards of the librarian. Arturo would demand that the priest confess to his crimes. The priest would remain silent. I would then stab his mind with a lance of psychic energy and reveal my inquisitorial rosette, also demanding that he confessed. The priest would calmly extend a hand from within his robes, holding the girl's eyes, before droning in high Gothic, "Should I rescind the order for my forces to retreat from the Crusade fleet, are you going to arrest me, Inquisitor?" And there it was. Without the support of the tech priest, the fleet would inevitably crumble, and so we had no choice but to allow the tech priest to leave. The librarian and I would stay behind to care for the family, and Arturo would swear an oath that he would kill the tech priest and bring the grieving father his skull. This did not comfort the father, however it did earn the librarian my respect. As of now, the tech priest still works with the Hive Fleet, but from behind closed doors, communicating through his engineers and servitors. So yeah, that's all I've gotten written so far. Hive Fleet Golem is... My goal was to create the most extreme, evil version of the Mechanicus that I could. And I feel like I did a pretty good job with that, especially with this little story here. It tells you a lot about their mindset. Which is tough, because the Mechanicus is already pretty evil. But yeah, that's my army. I had a lot of fun putting this together, writing them, making them. I think it is time for us to start making them, I think. So... Commissar Xanthium, we have a model for. Apothecary, I have a model for. Acadian Shock Troops, yes. Chimera, yes. Commissar Xanthium. So what I'm going to be doing for the models that I don't like or already exist, I have a bunch of bases that can fit a bunch of different model types, and I'm going to basically just be making the models on Hero Forge, have them sent to me, and then just gluing them onto their bases. That way I can create the models I'm actually more interested in. We're going to go ahead and have the first one we create be Inquisitor Illyria by Varus, especially because I kind of already have her made, and I can kind of more create the idea of what we're going for here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually move this. No, maybe not. Here's what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and switch over to standby. I'll go ahead and move this over to the other monitor. Open up a new window. We're going to go ahead and open up a Google image search on this page. 40K Inquisitor. And I want to actually get to the mini, so let's pull up Games Workshop and take a look at the actual model here. I could never look like Broly. Damn, but Broly doesn't even have the broccoli cut. Inquisitor. Greyfax agents. Now there's an old Inquisitor model I'm looking for. And so I actually had to. So this is something that I'm willing to do. I'm willing to buy. Hold on. 40K Inquisitor model. There you are. There's the one I'm looking for. Pop. Just bring up a general image search for him. And then Hero Forge. Boop. So yeah. I'm actually excited to show you guys my apothecary, because my apothecary is actually, oh, let's go ahead and make sure I log in. Google, there we go. Oop. My apothecary is a model I made out of, I actually kit bashed. Kit bashing is when you take a bunch of different parts and slam them together. You know, the Lego method of just, I have these parts and these parts, let's make something new, you know? And so that's kind of what I did with the apothecary, where I took parts from different kits and used them to make my ideal apothecary model. And it's currently being worked on, but here we're going to be doing a different tact. We're going to be making one of these Hero Forge minis, which can be ordered as real miniatures and sent to you. And we're going to take one of the ones we started work on with Illyria here, who started as a D&D character, and we're going to be converting her to a more 40K style. So we'll go ahead and open her up. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Hero Forge is a website where you get to make your own custom game miniatures, and you can have them sent to you painted, unpainted, 3D printed. You can actually just get the code yourself and 3D print your own model. I think it's a really cool site, and it's been very, very useful over time. I might actually start from scratch here. Let's go ahead and make a new one. There we are. Okay. So yeah, we'll be working. The idea is to take this original aesthetic, which is the mini I would have to get in order to play her on the tabletop. And instead, what I'll be doing is kind of taking this style and applying it to a new character. I also have other examples I could take. This is pretty close to how she looks, honestly. Like, this is very close to how Illyria looks. Let's go ahead and get a closer look here. Oh, hey, Wikia, you piece of shit. Our fandom wiki. Ordo Hereticus, too. Same Inquisitor, same. That's the right Ordo and everything. I think I might just remake this art as a model. All right. Species, human lady. We got half-elf, dwarf, elemental, bugbear, gnome, troll. Yeah, if you have a D&D character you want to see, you know, brought to life in 3D, I'd recommend this place. Face. Now for her face, she's going to be very... Yeah. Miku would be the God Emperor. Correct! There she is. Well, there's her as a corn berserker. That's just cool. The silence displeases Miku. Okay, how about this one, TJ, huh? What are your thoughts on this one? I think this is peak, personally. Please do not bang the machines. I'm gonna send this to you in order to save it later. Oh, there's her as a Sister of Battle. Post it in chat. Boop. There you go. Wait, why is that such a big, ugly link? Ah, never mind. Let me guess. If I right-click and post that on my own goddamn... There we are. Okay. I'll post it in Arena. Oh, here's her as a Necron. We are getting very sidetracked here. These are all good pictures, though. I am pleased greatly with them. We need more Tauren. Alright. There you are. That's what we're looking for. Her angular, elegant features. Now, I want to change her facial expression. She looks too happy. So let's go to her pose. Face. Yeah, I've set it to neutral. Her head too big. Head, who knows, man? Who knows, Ghost? You get like alien faces, dog heads. You could just make a Beaverton mini, Obi, and keep it for yourself. Oh, Fool's Gold. Nice. Her hair is not quite on point, though. So yeah, we're looking for like long, straight, somewhat feathered hair. Don't really like any of these cuts so far. This is the Ramona Flowers. That one might not be bad. That one actually looks closest to what we're looking for. Yeah, we'll go with this one then. Why are Manul's in here looking for very long pigtails? Would the Emperor like Tauren? Hell yeah, good work. Eyes. There you go. Those are her eyes. It's not even a bad look, honestly. Very creepy. Eyeballs, alien eyes. There we are. Ears. She has human ears. We're not even going to bother with them. Tongue. What kind of tongue she got? What tongue do she got? Can't see it. Teeth? I'm going to just leave those default, honestly. Body. Alright, she's somewhat taller. Let's say she's about 5'9". I don't like her pose. I think getting her pose right is going to go a long way. One hand out, kind of pointing, and then holding the sword, and then one knee slightly bent. Let's get working on the advanced pose. So we'll pick with something basic for the start. That's a pretty good start. She's not like walking forward. There's this model here that's like standing in a spread stance, armed. I could probably do the same exact pose, actually. Like spread. That's a good idea, TJ. You nailed it, buddy. Honestly, that might be the best starting point. I might have to cut her off of her base, too. That's another thing I gotta worry about. Is the base might be too big. Too big for what we're looking for. I hope I get to change the size of the base. I'll go with this one here. And right arm, shoulder, gonna bring that over here. Bend it here. And we're looking for this pose here. So pointing, this arm will be held straight out. Bent, tilt, and then tilt up like this. Her head, will turn it slightly. Twist this direction, bend. No, it'd be very determined looking at it from like this, and then the tilt. And then twist. There we go. Basically, like she's pointing at something down her. She's looking at something down her sword. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to have her gun aimed like that. Go for like more of an action shot. So what we'll do is we'll bend her head down like this. No, not like that. Like this. Like she's aiming down the sights of her pistol. Arm slightly bent works very well for that, actually. Twist the wrist. There we are. Bend the wrist. And then let's go ahead and give her a gun. We're looking for pistol, and we're looking for something that looks... Ooh! Some of these are actually really... So that looks like a solar pistol of some sort. Let me actually check out the Wahapedia sheet for Inquisitors. Because if I can tell, if I can figure out what kind of weapon she has, I can then create something that's close to it. Factions, Imperial agents, agents of the Imperium, detachment rule. We're looking for units right now. There it is, just Inquisitor right here. Yep, she's rocking a bolt pistol, a combi weapon, a psychic shockwave, a melee weapon, and a force weapon. So yeah, bolt pistol is the way to go with her. Got it. Ew. I mean, it's not exactly a graceful solution, but it's a solution nonetheless. So we're gonna have to find something that looks bolt pistol-y. Hopefully it good. Revolver, futuristic pistol. Damn. I may. Oh nope, that is a straight up bolt pistol. At least it looks like one. So these two are the maybes right now. Yeah. That just looks like a bolt pistol without its magazine. There we are, and then the other hand will do a sword. Hands. And we're looking for sword. And for the sword, we're looking for what looks to be a force weapon of some sort, so... That's tempting. It's pretty close, actually. A bit too narrow. The blade tip's a bit too narrow. This would be a good one, but it looks too elfy. Thing is about a force sword, it can be pretty much... Like, you're not all that limited when it comes to design. They tend to look a certain way, though. Yup. That one's really close right there. I like that one. Oh, I love the cane sword look. It's very sleek. Oh, shit. I guess Alexander gets to have his sword of choice. They added it. Awesome. There we are. No, it's too big. That's way too big. Probably switch. It's tempting. Too big. That one actually might be the one. Let's see what else we got. New. No. Too big. Fuck it, just give her a fucking chainsword? Not fancy enough for her, though. Is Zweihander? Hell yeah. Flamberge. They're calling it on here. That's probably what it is, and I'm just wrong about my swords. I'm wrong about many things. This is fine. This is fine with me. I'm still having fun. And I hope you guys are having fun, too. Ew. I honestly love those kind of weird solutions for technology being broken. Makes me happy. Like, oh, I stuck a piece of gum in there, and it just... shit was A-okay. I was like, alright, cool. Stuck a piece of gum in that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these swords are just huge. They're all, like, massive. Is there... Short blade, there we are. That's closer to what we're looking for. I like how I have to go into the short blade category to find, like, a reasonably sized sword. Throwing dagger. That's not a dagger, that's a short sword. The weapon scale is, like, insanely huge. It's like Monster Hunter rules out here. I mean... Ding, ding, ding. No, that's worse. What was the one I found earlier that I liked? Don't like the tip on that one. Don't like the tip on that one. That's probably the closest we're gonna get. Alright, let's get her posed correctly now. Let's get her posed correct now. Pose. And then right wrist, we're gonna twist it so she's actually able to look down the sights of the damn gun. You know, let's angle it slightly, like, make sure she can actually see the damn thing, but we'll tilt it slightly like this. And then bend it more up. No, more like... There we are. Perfect. She's just kind of got it cocked at an angle. She's, like, turning to look down the sights. Small knife, and it's the Dragon Slayer. Yeah, for real. That pose doesn't have the level of dynamism, though, just of that, you know, that's very... It's a very strong piece of imagery, but this kind of brings it more into line with the other one. Let's go ahead and drop her arm down. Twist... Oh, no. Let's just undo that, whatever that was. And we're going to go up to her other hand and twist her shoulder downwards. Bend it down like that, and tilt it. No, that's not right. Tilt her hand. No. Birth that back. And yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Because, like, the idea is that it's, like, leveled at her side. Like, her arm needs to be actually relaxed and not, like, chicken winged out like that. Yeah, there we go. And then the blade, the hand, we're going to twist it so it's facing kind of outwards. And... there we are. God, her arm's all chicken wingy. I don't like it. Oh, elbow! I'm stupid. Oh god, yeah, her arm looks... Ah! No! She's been injured! Yeah, her hand's fucked up. Let me... No. I'm Abak. Welcome, Abak. Slightly too high. Yeah, I'm trying to line up the sights with her eye. Not to mention the sights are just terrible, but I mean... There we go. That's better. Alright, what we'll do is twist this wrist. There we go. And then bend it and tilt it to make it look more natural. It's kind of like behind her. So she's more like striding forward. Body advanced. Forward. Twist. I picked the wrong starting. Honestly, I kind of like this one. She looks more ready. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I go for a different pose, or do you think this is a good one? Only real... Yeah, only real here, by the way. Don't, There we go. Twist. And twist her torso. Tilt. Tilt it back or forward. Okay. There we are, that's better. Because yeah, the idea is like she has the blade, but she has the blade behind her, and she's ready to like swing it at her target. Let's get her facial expression right. She's a 40k character, so she's full of anger and focus. He's Abik. Welcome, Abikobi. Yeah. She has this look like you just whipped out your dick at her and she's fucking disgusted. Yeah, there you go. Alright, I think that's a good start. I'd like to change her feet position if possible. Let's twist her. Okay, well I wanted to... Alright, well shit. Alright, well that job's done. She's not going to have any wings or tails or extras, so boop, 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 boop. Nothing here, I think. Let's give her... Looks best holding the gun like that. Clothing. Alright, that's a full outfit. I guess let's look and see if there's like a preset Inquisitor outfit we can tweak. Ooh, that I think I like that mask there. Could be a jester. Hell yeah. Be the Dragonborn. Honestly, I'd feel bad if I used any of these. I'd feel like uncreative and lazy. I do love though how like whenever you see somebody in a group, like whenever you're in a group with for D&D or whatever, and you guys use Hero Forge for your characters, like you can tell who the lazy people are because they're just like, oh cool, you're just rocking the default pose. I see. All right, this is our hat. That's a cool look. If she was a commissar, that would work really well. I'm looking for a stovepipe hat. I really hope they have one. If not, I might actually have to settle for like a Spanish Inquisition look. Why did Zelda pop into my head? Anyway. That actually might be a cool look. What's cool about Inquisitors is that they're individuals. They can really... Oh, there you are. Yeah. Gonna have to tweak how that's set on my body, but yeah, pretty cool. It's the exact hat I'm looking for. Now for her glasses. Perfect. Yeah, I don't see your glasses there. That's okay. So I am going to actually have some carry. I may not actually go with the glasses. I might go with an eyepiece. There we go. Monocle. Yeah, there we go. An auspex sort of thing. Kind of complete that look. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that one, and I'll like color it a gold color. That's pretty good. Doesn't feel quite 40k though. Let me grab this one instead. It's because it's a bit more over the top. Chest. All right, we are looking. Our options are. What do we got here? So these are like undershirts, I'm guessing. Here we go. Yeah, so it's layer one. Layer one. Corset wouldn't be off. Wouldn't be too off. Ooh, that one actually looks spot on for what I'm looking for. Neckline, corset, top. Something with sleeves, preferably, though. Well, no, that's going to get covered up, so I don't think that matters too much. I think, though, this is more of what we're looking for. Maybe even this one here. Leather armor, chest piece, blouse, that sort of thing. Get a board, just a fucking board to cover your titties. Yep, I think I got which one I wanted. Weren't we doing reading? We finished reading, Obi. You missed the end of the reading. Now we're in the character creation part of the stream. That's pretty close, but not quite. Sleeveless trench coat. I don't like the sleeveless. That's my problem with it. Go with that one. RG. There we go. That's a bit closer. Undercover overcoat. Or we can go with the classic detective look. Yeah, I like that one. That one's cool. Yeah, this is the Inquisitor character who's telling the story, and I'm working on building her up and making a character out of her. Now my hat. Can I not change how that sits on my head? Because if it doesn't, I'm just going to take the damn thing off. Yep, I am just going to take the damn thing off. Head. So no hat. We're just going to take that off, yeah. Masks. Maybe we can find something else for her. A Defias mask. Not quite. No. Yeah, well, I think the monocle does the job. I think that's good enough. We don't need to have it be... Maybe I'll find a different hat for her. Because, like, the witch hunter's hat is just too big. No. Goggles are a cool look. Battle damage. Oh yeah, if you wanted to make your mini earrings. That's great. Crown. Try to find something else that fits. Character creation is typically not a very exciting part of Let's Plays or streams. I would know. A lot of people I watch who are streamers are also like artists. She is a rogue trader. She is a rogue trader. She is an Inquisitor, and whose disguise is that she's a rogue trader. I feel like that fits it very well, that cap. Tri-corner hat. And that way we can also... There we go. Now it's coming together. Now that we figured out our aesthetic is piratey. But yeah, no, like a lot of the Let's Players I watch are also artists, so like they spend a lot of time on character creation. So I totally get it if it's not all that interesting to you guys. Boop, there we go. I think that's the look. We got the eye patch equivalent. Not anymore. Nope. Reading is canceled. I'm so sorry. Alrighty, we got short evening gloves. That's kind of actually exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want to overthink it too much. Ooh, but rings though. Oh, it's a cuff. Okay, I thought that was a ring. Intricate bangle, clunky bangle, 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 bangle. Spacesuit gloves. No. There we are. So for those who don't know, rogue traders are basically privateers for the Imperium. They go out into space and they are given a license to let them do a bunch of shit that normally they wouldn't be able to do, and they do it for the Imperium. Go out there, go commit crimes for us. It's like, okay. I honestly like the looks of these the best so far. Let's try these. Oh, that's a good look. Oh no, I feel the best about the fur. Yeah, I'll go back to the fur gloves. I like those the best. But yeah, what's really cool about these, and I think I said it before, but it may not have sunk in for you guys, you can actually have these printed out. So if you have an OC that you really enjoy, that you want to see be real, you can totally make them on here, sculpt them, color them, and then have them sent to you. Alright, now we need good pants. They have Witch Hunter pants? No, they do not. Hakama? Druid pants. Have you all put on your druid pants today? Yeah, we'll go with the piratey look, so the baggy pants and then the boots. I think once we get the boots... Damn. Tempting, but let's see if they got anything better. Yeah, the fact that her legs are cocked inwards that bother me. I think her pose is what's bad. Or I'm just really trying to make these boots work. Because heels seem like a terrible idea. God, oh, the lacing on that one looks super nice. Yeah. Tempting on that one. Yeah, we'll go. Rock that shit. Eco-terrorism. Alright. Play Final Fantasy VII if you want that. You just give her greaves. Like, yeah, that's the only part of her that has any sort of heavy armoring on it, is her feet. It's like, I must protect my feet. God, this music's groovy. I don't think I'm going to have any boots I like until I fix her pose. So let's just pick something and then come back to it. Start with those. So those are the first ones where I went like, yeah, let's go. But again, I hate her fucking pose so much. Pose, body. I need one that's like her walking forward. Here we go. Oh, that one's just great. That one's just great already. It's extend the arm out a bit further. There's a weakness to her pose, a lack of confidence that I'm trying to fix. There we are, that's closer to what I want. Gangsta, fire the gun. Yeah, I think she needs to tilt the gun slightly. There we are, and then bend it up. Because the idea is she just like pulled it from her pocket and she's about to pow. Clothing. All right, let's go back to her legs. And now that we got some, I think we should find some boots that work for her first, and then we can go from there. Like, I'm trying to go for something very piratey looking. She's a secret agent in disguise as a pirate, pretty much. Those are good, but I don't like the... Yeah, I want her to be taller, so that's an important thing as well. Maybe go back to her body and actually tweak some things about her. Body, her head's way too big, but that can't be helped. All I can really do is, like, first off, she's super skinny, so we'll fix that right up. Her build is... She'd be very muscly. We're looking at, like, lean muscle here. Something that can easily be disguised that doesn't stick out. How busty? Like, she'd probably know the advantage that gives her and get those augmetics done. As for the waist... yeah, keep it tight, I guess. Alex writing thousands of pages of lore to describe why it's okay for him to like the thing that make him horny. Booty. There we go. Okay, that would probably look absurd without the coat, so let's tweak that down a bit. There we go. And I think we can make the bust a bit more reasonable. It don't need to be the half the size of her head. There we are. Build, posture, scale, upper scale. New. Arm length. Probably a little bit longer, right? Yeah. Oh, we can change your torso. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you can make like a snake lady if you want. Oh man, if it were up to me... Oh, can I give her like a robot arm? Hold on. I kind of like the idea of her having a single robotic limb. Wouldn't be clawed. They'd probably be more normal though. But let's try it. Click. And nothing changed because you can't see it. All right. She don't need all that. Yeah, no, I agree. Her head though. God, I wish I could make her head smaller. I make her well, now she's just a giant. 5'10". There we go. Where's she aiming? Hold on. Is she aiming? Let's look down the sights and make sure. Yeah, her aim's a bit off, but she's hard. It looks more like she's just hip firing as she strides forward. Right. Back to her clothing. Let's get her boots correct. Which I think these are the right boots for her. Maybe I think she should definitely go with high heel boots. Maybe not those high heel boots. Oh yeah, those are the one. Those are nice. I like that. All right, let's change out her thing here. No. No. What are we looking for here? What do we want out of this? That has a skull on it, but it's too, like... Yeah, it's not quite what we're looking for. Medieval gown? It'd be on a different character, a different outfit. An apron. Okay, well, yeah, then we got some Inquisitor. We got some Imperium energy there with that belt buckle. Big ol' skull belt buckle on her. Is that what we want to do? Oh, that's tempting, but no. We're gonna go with the big ol' skull belt buckle. What's a GMO farmer? I heard that as a gnome farmer for a second there. That's actually closer to what we're looking for here. Studded leather pants. Yeah, there we are. She is complete. I dig it. Alright, her gear. Now, this is one of the things I actually want on her side. I would like her to have a tome on her side for... let's just go... T-O-M-E. How about book? You got book for me? No? Alright, well, sword is still selected, so... Let's unselect sword. Miscellaneous? Yeah, if we're looking for... There it is. A leather-buckled journal. That's the one. That's in a bad spot, but I think we can change that. Pose. Yes, we can. Alright. There we are. And then tilt it. Yeah, there's her journals. She's a writer. She's a historian. That's kind of her whole thing, is she's all about finding heresy before it spreads through the study of history. That's kind of her thing, is that she studies history very closely. She's a nerd! Anyway, she basically studies history very closely in order to find heresy find the roots of heresy before it spreads. Looking back into like a person's history, what they got up to, what could be construed as heretical, and deciding whether or not she should step in. Most of her time she spends just writing and studying. But like all Inquisitors, she has psychic power. She's good at combat, that sort of thing, and she also has to live her daily life as a rogue trader. She still has to carry out that job as well. Very busy with this woman. Very busy. Might change her hair now, actually. Let's take a look. Now that we have her fully dressed up. That's cool. I like that look. That's a strong look. Holy shit. That's badass. Maybe a ponytail? No, it's up in her hair. We'll go with this one. Maybe that one? Kind of like that. That looks really cool. Makes her more unique, too, because before she had kind of just like a Sisters of Battle look going on. What's the Ramona Flowers look like? That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Maybe I'll just get different heads for her and just swap them out, like Samus. Oh, that's a really cool look. Ooh. This is actually way cooler now that I have... Like, now that the character is mostly done, I really like the way a lot of this looks. Okay, that looks great, but she's bald on the top of her head with that one. But no one's going to see it because of the hair. So the temptation to do that one is actually very strong as well. Looks way cooler from under the hat. But that one? That's a bit much. About that. Oh, I think we just found it. Yeah, that's the one. I ain't reading all that. There's nothing to read. Alright. Eyes. She's got the eyes she needs. Clothing. We're back to clothing. Gear. Here we are, gear. So she has her tome. Let's take a look at her Wahapedia sheet again. Just gonna go ahead and activate that real quick. Yo, 600 subscribers. Yeah, right, man? YouTube's popping off, man. YouTube's popping off. So yeah, this did not go in the direction I thought it would at all. I think she just went full fucking rogue trader with it, though. Which I'm cool with. I'm cool with it. Her whole thing of, like... That's fine, because you also got to consider... Because Inquisitors are supposed to, like, blend into Imperial society. You're not supposed to ever know when one's around. They're basically the intelligence agency of the Imperium. And so they got to blend in. And so... her just looking like a cool pirate lady who's secretly an Inquisitor is a really good look. Got her bolt gun. Yeah, she has a bolt pistol, a combi weapon, which I don't even know what that entirely... Yeah, okay. Psychic shockwave, so she'll have the bolt pistol, melee weapon. Oh, she'll have the bolt pistol and the force weapon. That'd probably be the way to go with this. Blessing wards. One psychic gift, it's inquisitorial melee. So yeah, that's a force sword. That's a force sword she has. Alrighty, let's get back to her gear. Back. Anything on her back that I could... Oh, cape. Yeah! Oh, that's cool! That's fucking rad. It's a luchador cape. Oh, but I dig that so much. That is such a fucking cool look. Ah, hell yeah. Oh, they've really stepped up their quality on this site. This is so much better than it used to be. Ooh, you guys, that's so fucking cool. Shoulder capes. Shoulder capes are really underrated. I'm going with the luchador cape, man. That's awesome. Damn. Right? Thank you, Arden. Yeah, no, it's coming together really nice. Alright, Obi, take care, man. We're going to have to tweak some poses, of course, her arms clipping through the cape. We just tilt it back a little. There we go. That way it's not clipping through the arm. There we are. Well, now that's a bit too much now. Uh-oh. Put you back. Take the arm, and we're just going to... With that, no, put you back. Bend it forward. There we are a little bit. And tilt here. And then the hands, we're going to... No. Tilt. No, there we go. Twist. Also, hi Arden, good to see you. How's things? Yeah, she's coming together. She looks like somebody you would not want to see landing on the deck of your ship. Like you're about to have it's like when you're about to have a really bad time if she lands on your ship. Let's get rid of the mask. Oh, no, I like the mask. Keep the mask on. Maybe change the monocle, though, because I'm realizing the monocle's clipping through it now. Other side, perhaps? Well, no. Let's do you, then. There we are. Ooh, nice work, Arden. Beat you up and rob you of your money. For real, for real. Very piratey, I like it. Okay. Looking very good, very resplendent. Very rogue trader. Mask might be tempting, though. This is, I think, what I love about coming back to this. Is, I don't use this site very often, but when I do, I come back to it, and there's always something really cool. Metal scroll. Where does that go? Oh, it just goes across the whole back. Okay, change that away. Ooh, an Necronomicon. I don't see anything on here really that fits her, so we might move on from there. Level of gadgetry. Yeah. Yep. Alright, rings. Alright, that let's have that on there on her hand, because that's her hand sticking out. You can see the little skull ring on her pinky there. And then we'll probably do a more... Yeah, there we go. Look, okay, so I'm gonna be taking her and making her into a Warhammer model. I don't like, this is the model that currently exists for the Inquisitor in 40k. I don't want this model. I think it look bad. So I'm making my own that I'm going to instead put on this base that I already have. And the original idea was to go for something like this, but as I tried to match this look, it looked really bad. So I kind of more took her in the piratey direction. So she's an Inquisitor, basically a secret agent of the Imperium of Man in Warhammer 40k, which is a very... it's an intense... It is basically if you took a setting and cranked sci-fi and fantasy all the way up to 11, you'd create the 40k universe. Very over the top, very insane. She's an Inquisitor, which is like both like an Inquisitor of old religion and an intelligence operative. So, and she is in disguise as something known as a rogue trader, which is like a space pirate or privateer or sailor. So I kind of opted to lead more in that piratey direction, giving her the tri-corner hat, and that's what we've been working on ever since, once we found out a direction for her. I was hoping for a Fleur-Lee. Yeah, they don't really match with her. Alright then. Well, let's go ahead and get her stage picked out. Base. Okay, it does not look like I'm able to decide how large her base is. So I'm going to go ahead and leave her base blank in case I have to completely cut her off of it. So we'll leave that there for now. Pose. Pose is good. We've been tweaking the pose since the start. Clothing is good. Gear is good. Alright, I think it's now just time to color. Righty. I think I'll do this by hand, and we'll start with the largest parts of her. So her clothing overall is going to be a black. Black. We're going to go with this kind of color scheme. So all of her cloth, all the leather is going to be like a brown. All the cloth is going to be like a dark red. So we'll go for leather. Pick a dark that for her leather. So I don't know. Theme. That's actually pretty close. All right. Carmine. Let's start with the cape here. It's a bit too bright. Pink? No. Banner red. That's the perfect shade of red. Alright, so bam bam. We do an underside of black for that. There we go. And then what else are we looking at in terms of cloth? Her face cover. Her pants here. And oh, the hat's gonna be cloth as well, so boop. We'll pick like a dark walnut for the rim of the cap. No, that's too much. Would the reverse be better? Let's take a look, see how that looks. No, no. Mahogany androgyny, I like that. Alright, boom, there we go. That mahogany looks pretty good. Actually looks so good I might go with that instead, actually. There we are. That looks a bit better. Bam. And then everything you've heard from 40k is just like random lore tidbits. Yeah, that's kind of how it starts. Basically, that's how it is for people until they find like a game or a book they really get into. Mostly it's games though nowadays. That's how most people mostly get into it. I think that's all of her cloth bits out of the way. Her jacket's leather. Oh. No. No, okay. That red's so bright. Charcoal cashmere? Oh, black slack. Let's try aubergine. No, it's too blue. Coal gold? No. Yeah, the red really stands out. It's a lot. The red is a lot. So. Oh, her undershirt too. Crap. Well, it's like supposed to be like armor and stuff, so that's gonna be a lot of just metal colors. Do the same here. Paint that to match. There we go. And then black slack for the trim. Boop. Alright, that's her cloth out of the way. We'll work on her leather next. Bricks End. Now, that's the shade of red that I was more thinking about previously. Probably do the jacket in that color. Yeah. Well, now she looks like Sandy Claus. That's too bright. Rogue black. I think that's the way to go with it. Rogue black for those, and then maybe her boots we can do in Bricks End. There we are. And trim them with the rogue black. Oh, I fucked up. I am not a very good colorer, so I apologize if this turns out looking whack. I'm gonna have to tweak it a lot. No, orange. I like that quill cognac. There we go, that looks good. And then the laces will probably... Was about to say, okay, if they should integrate a color picker into it. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm guessing that exists, but as a premium feature sort of thing. Alright, and then her laces, I'll probably... I don't know, what color do you think I should do her laces? Let's try just these. Oh, that ain't bad. Alright, let's go for this quill cognac again, make sure that gets... dyed properly. There we are. And then I want to pick metal colors for those boots, so we'll come back to that. And then Bricks End for the straps, maybe? And do like a normal... There we are, yeah, that looks good. That's looking real good, actually. That's very good. Yes. Alright, Bricks End. Going a bit crazy with the Bricks End, but I kind of love it, so it works for me. Maybe, and then I'll even do like this. Oh, that's tempting, but let's try just the red. No, I've already done the black. Let's do quill cognac then. The orange is too much. Poppy shed's way too much. I like that look the best. That's the easiest on my eyes. Alright, and then we'll go with like a gold trim. That's a bit loud. Well, I mean, if she's going for like the nobility look, let's try like a... purple? No. Princess purple, let's try that one instead. See, that ain't bad. That looks nice. Reagan Arataka takes over for the Emperor when he needs to rest. Well, Lighter brown to complement the red. Yeah, that's what we ended up going with. I didn't even read your shit, but I didn't read your post. Sorry, I didn't want to call your post shit. I didn't read your post, but that's what we ended up going with anyway, so hell yeah. You psychically imparted the wisdom onto me. Surely. Righty, I think let's go ahead and just quickly dye this pouch a color, and there we are, and this strap here. And then we just bricks in the middle there. Alright, now we can work on the metallic bits. Metal. Gold. I like gold! Tomorrow is Miku Day. Yay! He's the greatest psychic 21st century after all. He is, that's true. Yeah, the Imperium loves their gold. The skull's all fucked up and smushed. Yeah, you think that'd be better? I don't know, we can try it. I just... Mr. Gold Teeth. I like the other one better. Sorry, but... worth a try, though. Okay. Dark Shadow Dark. Yeah, I think the skull just looks funky. Oh, that reminds me. Let's get some brass. Let's get some brass in here. Starts hearing a really loud horn. Like, no, I didn't mean... Ow. And the monocle is, of course, going to be gold. Or let's try copper. Copper. Well, when we get her skin in there, we'll have to work on that more, yeah. But that is the thing about 40K. The setting, it loves its gold. Let's make that a brass, actually. 40K loves its gold. And we're gonna go for a more magical color for the sword because it's a psychic blade. And then for some other gold we're going to be working on is her corset here. The ribs are going to be gold. They are. Then. It screams the whole time. It's not having a good time at all. All right, we got this blackened metal here. Let's go for that then. Lime, running sea, gunmetal, titanium. Damn it. Gold, platinum. That's what we're looking for. Now let's find a metal that's a tone up from that. It's very colorful. Okay. The music's like really epic too. I need to make an image. Yeah. Like the music's really adding a lot to this. Just like I feel like I'm forging a great hero of legend. But by 40k standards, of course. Here by hero I mean horrible, horrible war criminal, but I mean that's 40k for you. It's one of those there are no good guys sort of settings. Dark Shadow Dark. Sounds more like someone's breathing in my ear. Is it that quiet? Here we go, I'll turn it up a bit. Oh yeah, total dystopia. Big dystopia. God, the silver trim was such a right choice. My goodness, that looks great. Alright, let's get that gunmetal in there. Well, I don't want to color the whole gun like that, but... This kind of feels like slipping back into my comfort zone, because this is how I always paint my minis IRL. Like whenever I'm painting bolters, this is the color scheme I go for. Chrome. Bolts are complete. Alright. God, the music is just amping me up right now. Da da da. God, this music's so... Darktide sound dark. I have my complaints about Darktide, but goddamn this soundtrack, man, so good. Gunmetal from TF2? Half-Life Ortagon? I kind of see it, yeah. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. Gun seems kind of basic, doesn't it? Let's get some rose gold in there. I was looking at the rose gold color. I want to see what that looks like. Ooh, for the frame, ooh, shit, that looks nice. Local man discovers rose gold. Alrighty, next up we got bone. There we are. Looks good. Alright, skin. Now we're gonna go with... she is supposed to have like an kind of olive skin tone, so... No, it's too orange. Why are these coming out as like orange, man? Orange, that's like a pink. That's close. That's light orange. There we are. Let's go ahead and take the mask off for now. There we are. Color. We got lips, guts, gums, snoot. Oh crap, I discolored her teeth. Whoopsie. Undo. There we are. Alright, let's put that mask back on. There we are. I think the mask off looks better, actually. Though she does need some eyes. I do like the pure white, though. I've always liked the pure white eyes. Always been a fan of that. The gambit eyes. Hair. So we're looking for like a platinum blonde. Wizard gray, hermit gray, wolfpack gray, salt. They do not have the color I am looking for. Oh, never mind. There it is. Let's get that bone color for her teeth. There we go. And hair, skin, plant, stone. Don't think there's any of that on her. Magic. Oh, I kind of like the diamond sword look. Like, it looks like silver, but it's almost unnatural. Yeah, I think I might go with that too. Go for like a psychic fire type look to her. Because it's not gonna fucking glow on the tabletop, but yeah, that blue look looks really strong, really stands out. You have to give her that psyker appearance. Glass. Let's try the diamond on her monocle. No, because that just looks exactly the same. Glass, potions, lenses. What is this? Library eye. Yeah, I think you're right. Going with potion type look. No, where's that purple I liked? There it is. Yeah, I like the pupilless look. It's really cool. Let's go for a diamond for her eye, maybe? I think that's the way to go. That looks the best. I do believe she is complete. But the eye... Let's change her... I actually might... Because I don't want to see her eyes. But I also don't want her to have the green eye. I feel like that'd be a bit much. Let's tweak her... Let's change her clothing real quick. Head. Alright. Nope. Yeah, actually, that one's tempting, the augmentation eyes. I don't feel good about any of those. No, I think the monocle is the right way to go. And we'll just have to change... We'll have to find an eye color for her that we like the look of. I like that one the best. That one's the best. All right, let's go ahead and change up her monocle here. Maybe a silver monocle would be better. Nah, we're gonna go with a gold monocle with a rose gold chain. There we are, very muted. She is complete. No, she looks insane. Ooh! The hair. I don't feel great about the hair. Let's find a hair color that works for her, because that's wood. Alright, should we just make her a... No, blonde is too... Too much. Oh, that looks better right there. I think I fucked up her boots. Let's mess with the boots a bit more. We're gonna flip the color on it. All right. We'll go ahead and take the gold here. Instead of using it as a trim, we'll use it as the main thing. I want to leave her heels though as silver, if that's okay. I think the silver looks good for the heels, just not on the fronts there. Boom. There we go. And that still doesn't look the way I want it to. Let's try rose copper then. Or the rose gold. We like the rose gold. Yeah, that looks much better. A little bit more muted. And then do the silver trim for the top of the boot. There we are. And I think I'll just give her a normal sword. Hey, honey bear.
Okay.
Gold. No, we'll go with just a silver blade. I can add any. I can also paint on this too if I ever get it. So, yeah, there you go. What do you think, Vay?
She looks awesome.
What do you think I should do with the hair? Because I'm kind of stuck on the hair.
What do you mean for color?
Yeah. Like I was going before, I was kind of thinking this platinum blonde look. Platinum witch, it says. But it's just, it looks unpainted, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, it's true, it does. And gray makes her look like an...
Yeah.
Who is, like, what's...
She's an inquisitor.
She's an inquisitor.
Yep. She's young, though. She's a young one, though. She's not, like, super old. She's,
I say go for blonde.
Straight up blonde?
Maybe that one.
Butterscotch blonde?
I don't know.
Oh, God, no. Banana.
Banana.
That's cheese. Oh, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She looks like you just whipped your dick out and she's gonna fucking kill you for it. I dig it. Now I have a face to apply to the teller of the stories. Yeah, there she goes. She is complete. There we go. Look at her. On point. And yeah, next time we do this, we'll be working on the Catboys. The Catterkin, as I called them. Oh, and so if you want to buy her, I mentioned this earlier, but you can totally get them printed out as colored plastic, which is what I'm probably going to go with. Color statuette, color standee. You can get it done in a plastic so you can paint it yourself, a cheaper plastic. Bronze STL download for your 3D printer, or 3D digital, which you can import into other programs. Yeah, that's Aledia. She was the one who wrote that entire story I told about the different factions and stuff in my army, and she's going to be my Inquisitor character that I play. And I think I might actually make one more tweak before we go color, or before we move on to the next project, because we're not done here tonight. We need to. We have another thing planned. God, that really came together. Right, that really came together great, didn't it? Wow, look at her. I think the moment the cape hit the outfit, it was locked in. Like the moment that she put the cape on, I was like, yo, let's go! Oh, I forgot to do her laces on one side. Cloth, and then I did like not burlap, what was it? Beige, tacky khaki, loud cloud. Ah, shit, what color was it? And it all came apart because Alex forgot what color he used. Fuck it, burlap. And the moment Alex said fuck it, burlap, it was all over. Let's go and change the button color as well. Go with the brass look. And there we are. Now, I would like to say that if you can pay to get them printed out, that's sick. Yeah, no, totally. You can pay to have them fully printed, color and everything. And they look really nice. I have a friend at my game store who has them. It's what convinced me to start doing this. So what I'm probably going to have to do with her when I get her, assuming that she comes pre-based. If she doesn't, that's great. But if she does, I'm going to have to either make sure the base fits over the Inquisitor base, or I'm going to have to cut her off this base and rebase her. Based. Save. And I am very proud of this creation. I think we did a good job, guys. Look at this. Now Illyria has a face. Alright. Well, I was going to play some Magic the Gathering. Aren't you up a bit early?
No, I go in at 8 tonight.
Alright. Yeah, I was going to play some Magic the Gathering, but Vea is awake, so... Actually... There we go, that's a cool look. Yeah, the glowing red on the eye. There we go. I think we needed that. Round of applause for the war criminal. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope to see you all tomorrow when I stream some Hatsune Miku and when we watch Home Alone. So that'll be a lot of fun. Be sure to join the Discord for that. I will see you all tomorrow for that one. Take care.